Hey Flosstube, it's Jen, Felicity Stitches, and I'm here for my 6th podcast, Flosstube video, installment, whatever. It's number 6. It's the 6th one I've done. Got lots to share with you today, and I don't want to waste any time doing it, so we'll start with a little bit of life updates. I started my new job at the beginning of March, and it's going great. So I've been there for about a month, and I love it. Also got sick pretty much the first day I started on my new job. So I've been battling, I don't know if it was the flu or the cold or whatever. It started out all up here, and it's slowly moved down here, and there's no amount of Mucinex or fluids or rest that seems to be able to get rid of it. So I'm just waiting for it to pass, but you'll notice I sort of sound congested, and I have a more sultry Flosstube voice, which is the only benefit of being sick, from what I can understand. That and being able to lay down and binge Netflix without guilt. That's it. Other life update, Potty Training Chronicles. I'm proud to announce that my little man is 100% potty trained for the most part. He does number 1 and number 2 in the potty. Number 2 was the tricky one, but he's figured it out, and he's amazing. I'm super proud of him, and now he has all the super cute race car dinosaur underpants that a little boy could desire, and everybody is much happier. If you are in the market for some cloth diapers, shout me out, because I have a ton of them that I am looking to sell. So that's that. Now, finishes. Okay, so I showed this in my last video. This is the Little Heart Swirl freebie by Nicole of Northern Expressions Needlework. But I don't think I have the beading done on it, so I just wanted to show you the beading. And I apologize, I've got some hoop marks here. I didn't press it. You know, I've been watching Flannel Jammies Farm, and all of her things are pressed nicely. Thank you for the ironing tutorial, by the way. I love it. And she has, everything is pre-set up with these little miniature clothespins. So cute, easy to show, and I love it, and I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to borrow that, because what a great thing. And I like to be prepared, but I'm not that prepared, and I know I could get them at one of the box craft stores, but I just haven't had time to go there. And so I really think that's a great little way of showing your finishes or your whips or whatever. And I just wanted to let you know that I really like that. I think it's cute. So here it is. I added more. These were Delica beads that were donated to me by a friend, and I added more than the pattern called for, because I wanted to really sort of bling it up like a chatelaine. I'm going to try not to shake and just move a little bit so that you can see. I don't know if you can really see, but this was like my first foray into, I did some beading on another Northern Expressions needlework piece, which was the mini twist number 1. I have all the mini twists. I got them from Stitchybox. Liz, I love Stitchybox. I don't know if you're watching my show or not, but if you don't know about Stitchybox, Bing it or Google it and check it out. It's Liz Westlake's business, and it's a wonderful thing, and I'm going to show you something in my show and tell that I got from there that's amazing. Another finish that I did, which is, I don't know, it seems like the etiquette for this, and we're going to talk about etiquette a little bit later, but it seems like the etiquette for this is that if you're doing a secret stitch or a small or whatever, you wait to show it until after the person who has received it receives it. But I don't know who's going to receive it. It's for a smalls exchange at the New Jersey retreat. And I don't know that they'll know it's from me before they get it. So I think it's sort of like a lottery pick. But if you know it's from me, then maybe you'll be excited about getting it. I don't know. This is a freebie from the work basket. We were supposed to do a spring or summer design. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it yet. And I stitched it on 40 count. I might be sunflower as well. And it came with the date, and I updated the date a little bit, and then I added New Jersey and this heart. Look at this. This is a little tiny heart that I stitched 1/1 on 40 count. Can you believe I did that? I cannot believe I did that, but I love it. It's far from perfect, but I think it's so cute, and it really gives it that sort of antique sampler feel, and I absolutely love it. So that's my finish work basket. I think it's called Pink Flower or Rose Flower, Pink Flower maybe, and I don't know, it's super cute. So I won't show the actual finish until after New Jersey, so I will I'll finish it, and then I'll take some pictures, and then I'll insert them in another video. Okay, whips and starts, moving right along. Whips. Oh, wait. A finish. Another finish. Another finish. Don't laugh. So, you guys know I talked a little bit about doing the learning to knit with Ginger Gerald and Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts. She's such a wonderful teacher, and Gerald's done such a great job with trying to make sure that we know what's going on and that sort of thing, and teaching us things, helping us learn things, which I love. Here's my first dishcloth. It doesn't look as... it's super wonky, this part here, and I'm sure it's like the tension or whatever, but that's my first one that I did, and then I did another one. This is my second one, and I attempted to block this one, but it's still wonky. I don't understand blocking. So if you block it, so you wet it and you put it in exactly the shape you want it, and then you leave it alone and you let it dry, right? And then it takes on that shape. That's not permanent, right? Is it permanent? Does it never, like if I were to get it wet again, wouldn't it just revert back to its old wonky shape, or would it always stay in this shape? I feel like it would revert because I haven't done anything to like chemically treat it and prevent it from, I just did it in this fabric so that it matched. And I know it's just a dishcloth and it doesn't matter because I'm just going to wash dishes with it. I want to figure out how to get my tension right so that I don't end up, because I eventually want to do socks and hats. I don't want to have like weird wonky socks and hats. So I've taken a break from this because I've really enjoyed it, and I'm trying to teach myself how to do flick knitting, which is sort of like speed knitting, but I just figured if I'm going to learn how to knit, if I can knit a little bit faster, I know, which is so anti-me because I'm all about the process, but it would allow me to do more things, which is what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to knit and cross stitch, but cross stitch is my first love, and I felt like this was taking away from my cross stitch. I don't know. I just stepped away from it for a little while. I'll probably come back to it in a bit. Right now, that's all I've done. I was going to do another washcloth to see if I could get my tension a little bit better. I do feel like the second one was better than the first one. I still have some weird holes. I don't know where those come from, but yes, those are finishes. So I wanted to share those. Let's talk about whips and new starts. Whips, Smith Sampler. Okay, Smith Sampler looks like this. It's what started me on my sampler kick. And here's the thing, is that this year was supposed to be my chatelaine year. It was my year of chatelaines. I love chatelaines. I think they are amazing. And I want to stitch so many of them. I think I have 5 or 6 patterns. I have one kitted up, which I haven't started yet. And I have a couple of tiny designs, and you know I'm working on the one micro mini, which I haven't done any work on this month. I saw Nicole of Nicole's Needlework working on this, and she's like a little sampler queen, and this became my sampler year, much like Lori of Mischievous Stitches. So here's my, I can't remember how much I've shown of this, but here's my progress. And this is stitched 1/2 on 46 count Butter Pecan by Lakeside Linens. I started it on March 3rd. And those are pretty true to life colors. I'm using all of the called for silks, and it is gorgeous, and it is a joy to stitch. Try to get in there really tight, really close so you can see. Look at, I just love the little teeny tiny stitches on 46 count. 46 count is definitely my jam. Or a tightly woven 40 count. That's what I love to stitch on. One thread, I don't have to worry about how anything's laying, I don't have to worry about whether I'm doing it right. And you'll see, I've never showed these in my haul video, but I got 2 Omanik frames. They're smaller. I think I got a 40 centimeter and a 30 centimeter. I need to get more because I have Rolaframes. Vonna stitches exclusively on Rolaframes. Oh, Vonna! I absolutely love that you are filming outside of the cave. I love seeing all your videos in the cave. I love learning how to do all the things and seeing how you organize. I love your new tattooed sewing machines. They look fantastic. But I love seeing you in your home, in your cozy space. I feel like you and I are hanging out at the kitchen table, and I laugh my butt off, and I just, you know I love you so much, but I love seeing you in another space that is yours, that shows another side of you. It makes me happy, and I feel like it's nice to see that. It's nice to see someone in other environments that are their own. Does that make sense? Anyways, Vonna stitches, sorry, Vonna stitches exclusively on Rolaframes, and I love Rolaframe. I have a bunch of them, and they're great for me for smaller pieces, but I really struggle to get drum tight tension, and I can get drum tight tension. Like, you would think I was gonna break my fabric. It's so perfectly tight. And I know, Vonna, you made a video about how to get drum tight tension on those, but I try and try, but I just can't. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I need to get some more of the Omanik, the quantum frames from the Omanik company in Estonia for my larger pieces. That's why I haven't started a chatelaine yet, because I don't have enough Omaniks. I only have 2, and I have my parchment tapestry from Rosewood Manor, which I haven't stitched on in a while. I'm sorry, Deb. We're doing sort of a lazy Sal, where we don't have any sort of goals, or you can stitch on it, you stitch on it. If you can't, you can't. The thing is, with my quantums, they're sort of like powerhouse frames, right? They're large, they're heavier, so you need something of substance to hold them in terms of a stand so that you can stitch on them. And I know a lot of people use Millennium frames and like the Needle Needs Necessaire floor stand or whatever. I have a Lowry stand, which I absolutely love. And if you want to learn more about the Lowry stand, go to Ginger Gerald's channel. He's done some great videos about demystifying the Lowry stand. I love your demystifying videos. Oh, Gerald, do you use the Goodreader app? I know you use an iPad for your patterns. If you use the Goodreader app, I was going to message you about this. Will you do a video, a demystifying about the Goodreader app, how to use it, because I have no clue. And what I want to do is, instead of wasting paper and making working copies of my patterns, I'd prefer to take pictures of them right? And then you turn them into a PDF and import them into Goodreader, and then so sort of like making my own version of an electronic copy that I can cross off or whatever, and I don't have to worry about my environmental footprint. Request from Ginger Gerald on that one. Can you do that for me, G? I would appreciate it. Little House Needleworks, Horsing Around. This is number 2 in the Farmhouse Christmas series. It's cute. I have not done a whole lot on it, but I did switch the border around to red. I'm making these as ornaments, so I really don't care if they're all matchy-matchy. I'm fine with it if they're not. I discovered through doing the first one of these that I really intensely dislike stitching with white, which stinks because I really like, I must need a lighter, I like the, how do I say this? I like the contrast of really light stitches on darker fabric. I like the contrast. I don't like how my stitches look. It doesn't matter if it's 2/2 or 1/2 or 1/, well, 1/1 would probably look okay, but I just, white is a tricky thing. I am housing this in my little project bag that I won from Michelle, Farm Girl, and I love this bag. I love it so much, and I love the, I actually got 2. I got one, I mean, this is perfect for Farmhouse Christmas, right? So this was the one I picked, and then she was so sweet, and she sent me, let me show you the other one she sent. I have it here, and it was housing my secret stitch. It's the, isn't it beautiful? The Parisian with the hot air balloons. And then, oh, lovely. And then the inside. I love this. I love it. I don't even have words for how much I love it. And I really thought I was totally fine with my bags that I get from the Container Store that look like this. But I love this. I get it now. I get why everybody's obsessed with the bags. And I'm going to learn how to make some so that I can have more because I want them. I love them. They're pretty. Okay, so new start. So I made a new start. This is the Clocks sampler from Nikki's Creations Primitives. This was new for Nashville Needlework Market. We are going to have a discussion about Nashville Market in a little while. I fell in love with this. I am trying to do, you know, we like to make things unique. Here is my take on this. I am doing this on 40 count Vintage River Rock by Dixie Sampler. The thread I'm using is Gassed Antique Rose. I'm stitching it 1/2. Let me show you the thread. Isn't that beautiful? And I'll zoom in here. I absolutely adore this sampler, and I love, sorry, that's my hand distorting the fabric. I love how this thread looks on this fabric. And this fabric has like little tiny, oh, where's my finger? Right there, like right here. Trying to see where else you could see it. They're like little hot pink, oh, there's one right here. Little tiny like hot like from the dye, right? Because this is sort of a pinky gray, purpley gray. I don't know. I love this. I absolutely love it. This fabric is gorgeous. It's a dream to stitch on. I think that, see, I'm stitching on my Rolaframe, but I can't get it, see, I can't get it drum tight. Vonna, I don't get it. And I've tightened it about as much as I don't know. And then, oh, I got these Stitchdots for needle minders. You're gonna laugh at me. I've turned into my mother's daughter. I used to buy her like really beautiful fancy things like silk pajamas, right? And she loved them, and she would keep them in a drawer, and she would never wear them because she didn't want to ruin them. That's how I am about my agate slices that I got from Abby. oh my gosh, you're gonna have a baby any day now. I'm so excited. I don't want anything to happen to them, so I'm afraid to use them. So I keep them, like I keep them on my Lowry stand where they don't get moved around, but I don't put them on my work or travel with them or anything like that because I don't want anything to happen to them. I don't want my kids to touch them. I just basically stare at them and look at how beautiful they are. Clock Sampler, Stitchdots, love them. They have the rare earth magnets and they're fabulous. That's that. Okay, what are we doing? Whips, new starts. Okay, haul. Yay, haul. You saw one thing here. I got the Clocks Sampler. I was gonna do like things I'm all into at the end, but it's hard because I'm interspersing stuff. One of the things I'm all into is my Sampler Guild, which I joined this year. I couldn't join last year because I was in school and I didn't have it in my budget to join the guild, take classes or do anything like that, but it's wonderful. So we go in. I'll have to do, if you want, let me know if you would be interested in this, but I'll do a video all about my Sampler Guild. I would love to hear about any of you, Lori, any of you who belong to Sampler Guilds. Yvonne, I'm trying to think of who else. I think those are the only two I know of that have actually mentioned being in Sampler Guild. Anyways, I would love to hear about what your meetings are like and what kind of things you have planned. I've been to 2 meetings, and the second meeting was a silent auction where I bought a bunch of stuff. I mean, not a bunch of stuff, but I bought quite a bit of stuff. One of the things I got were these lovely bags, and therefore, that's one, and that's the other one. They hold scroll frames, so they're perfect for my Rolaframes because they're smaller. They're cushiony, they're not quilted, and they have a Velcro, warning, loud noise, little button to be cute, and they were made by Graceful Threads. And they're just lined with basic muslin. They're soft, and I'd wanted things like this, and they were very inexpensive. I definitely didn't even pay what they were worth. I felt like I was stealing them, quite honestly. They were lovely, lovely, lovely. I also bought a book of Blackbird designs, but I don't have it with me because I'm letting one of the other stitchers from the guild borrow it because she had something she wanted to stitch in there. And then the other thing I got was this oak darning egg. So one of the other things I'm all into is learning how to darn socks. I don't know why, but I want to learn how to darn. Mending, darning, whatever. There's another darning egg that I have. It's actually a darning mushroom that I have my eye on, but these are not inexpensive. And my mom had a darning mushroom, and I don't know where it's at. I looked all over for it, and it's nothing special except it was my mom's. And I'm praying I didn't get rid of it. That's what I have. This darning egg, and then I'm gonna get a darning mushroom, and there you go. Let's see. Okay, so I showed you my Omanik frames. I want to tell you that if you're interested in Omanik, lots of people are using them. They are alternative to Millennium frames. From what I can tell, they're very, very similar. Turnaround time from when I ordered my frames to when I got my frames was exactly 1 month. I ordered them, and then 1 month later, they were on my doorstep. If you're interested in learning more about them or how to set them up, there is definitely a learning curve for setting them up. There's a number of great videos. You can, put Omanik or Quantum Frame into the search bar in YouTube and find videos, but I would direct you first to Orietta Stitches. I've watched that video so much that when I went to load the frames up the first time, I didn't even feel like I needed to turn it on because I'd watched her do it so many times. There's a link below in the downstairs box there to Orietta's video on the Omanik frames, and they're wonderful. That's that. Books. I told you I was going to mention Stitchybox. I purchased this Ackworth School Motif pattern book from Stitchybox, and it's literally, I'm just going to do like a you won't be able to see, but it's just tons of different motifs of patterns. 100 cross-stitch motifs to inspire your stitching from Stitchybox. Ackworth. Okay, so the Ackworth School Motif Pattern Book was a classic released from Needleprint over a decade ago. I'm so pleased that we can bring it back to print for a new group of stitchers and designers to enjoy. Inside you'll find 100 motifs and an alphabet to inspire your creativity. Happy stitching, Liz Westlake. So this was released in May of last year, and I really wanted it, but I wasn't able to afford it at that time, and I was fortunate enough that she still had some left. These are all Quaker motifs. I believe the first edition was put out in 2005. I love Quakers. So Ackworth was an all-girls school, and it's very well done, and I love that it's flat. It'll lay nice and flat. I love the way it's bound so that I can use it to stitch from if I want to. Okay, another book that I purchased is Ohio is My Dwelling Place. Schoolgirl embroideries from 1800 to 1850. This is a thick one. It's by Sue Studebaker. I'm going to show you the ISBN number if you're interested. There you go. ISBN 0821414. I'm reading this backwards. 534. Oh yeah. And it is a gorgeous, let me see if I can, all about Ohio. You know, I bought the Georgia book. How backwards that I don't have any, I didn't have a book about Ohio samplers since I'm from Ohio. And these are beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to perusing this and learning all about my home state samplers. So that is another book acquisition. Let's talk market. I felt like there was a little bit of a frenzy. Maybe that was all me in my head getting just way too excited, but a lot of beautiful samplers, just some gorgeous stuff coming out from people. I bought all the things. I bought all my favorite things, almost all of my favorite things. So I will show you what I got so that you can see. And the only thing right now, I have plans to stitch two things, and everything else is going to go into waiting. So this is Faith 1831 by Samplers Not Forgotten. One of the things that I have discovered is that I like pastoral samplers. Not as much into houses, but give me flowers, trees, floral borders, animals. A lot of people love Adam and Eve. I'm not really into stitching people as much, especially naked people. I don't know, it's not my thing. I just think this is beautiful and I love the colors. So here's some little naked, where are you guys? Hey, so I said I didn't like naked people, but naked cherubs are a whole other thing, right? Baskets of flowers, 1831. Let's see, the quote on this sampler was thought to be written by Helen Keller, but research has raised the question that it may have actually been written by her teacher, Anne Sullivan. If so, the verse was fully embraced by Helen as she used it in her writings throughout the years. So this says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. How could you not want to stitch that, right? I mean, really. And you know, if you're not a pink person or a red person, then convert it to blues or convert it to purples. Make it your own. Convert it to, you know, burnt oranges and olive greens and browns. I could totally see Emily C. turning this into her color palette. But I loved it. Okay, so next up, oh, the Scarlet House. I love the Scarlet House. If you get an opportunity to listen to Fiber Talk with Gary and Christine, they did an interview with Tanya Brockmeyer from the Scarlet House, and it was so interesting. This is Anne Long, 1826. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to read you the phrase here. The bee. The industrious bee extracts from every flower its fragrance sweet and mild balsamic power. Learn thence with greatest care and nicest skill to take the good and to reject the ill. By her example, taught, enrich thy mind. Improve kind nature's gift by sense refined. Be thou the honeycomb in whom may dwell each mental sweet, nor leave one vacant cell. I mean, come on. How do you not stitch poetry like that? Zooming in for your viewing pleasure, because I think you should. And look at this. I mean, if you're going to stitch a house, those bricks. Look at this little boop boop. And there's so many like little hidden treasures in samplers. I think that's what I love so much, is that there's just like random bird, random bird. There's the phrase again. And this border is beautiful with another border. I mean, it's just like borders upon borders upon borders. So Anne Long, 1826 by the Scarlet House. A reproduction by Tanya Brockmeyer. I love it. Thank you, Tanya, for doing this. It's beautiful. Okay, here's another one. Oh, gosh. Get ready for this one. I hit the floor, and I didn't notice this when I had looked at it, but this is Anne Wright, 1726, and this is a reproduction by Kimberly Nugent of Samplers Not Forgotten. I just love it. So we're gonna go real slow and sort of now this is obviously I think this is the original. But I love the colors. I love the pops of red. It's just super beautiful. 9 years old. Look at more cherubs. I don't know. I don't even notice the cherubs when I buy these things. They just pop up. So there must be like angels looking out for me. But I love the use of red in this. Anne Wright, you were beyond your years, girl. Probably going to be huge. What is 186 by 424. Okay, here's one you've seen before. I love it. Anne Grader, 1812. This is another Scarlet House by Tanya Brockmeyer. Pretty much anything Tanya does, I love it. I love that red. I love the strawberries. I love all the little animals. It's beautimous. 149 by 161 in height. Okay, here's the biggie. Here's my Hands Across the Sea. I know everybody fell in love with that pink one. Too pink for me. Eliza Bell Cox. I've talked to you guys about this. This is the bookmark that comes with it. Eliza Bell Cox, 1832. The model was stitched by J. Lee Halpin. And it is a Hands Across the Sea sampler. What honestly, what did we do before Nicola? I really don't know. I love this. I absolutely adore this border. Is a work of art. And this bird, this parrot, is gorgeous. A little creepy, okay? That eye, I mean, it's a little creepy. I may do a conversion. I have a friend of mine, Rose Kotnick, who's doing a conversion to honor a friend of ours who was lost. And I may see if she'd be willing to share it with me if I like her color conversion. And I could honor that same friend. And then the bottom here says 1832, Elizabeth Cox, Radcliffe House. She was born in June. I was born in June. So this is going to be my birthday month start. And what I love that Nicola has done with this one is create a bookmark that has the entire thread legend on it, along with some stitch diagrams, and her patterns are stunning. She even puts like little, look, she even puts little notes in her patterns in certain areas so that you know exactly what you're doing. And they're huge, so you don't have to worry about, I can't see. And then on the bottom here, there she has like little quotes. There's one from William Wordsworth. Pansies, lilies, kingcups, daisies, let them live upon their praises. William Wordsworth. Oh, roses and lilies are fair to see, but the wild bluebell flower is the flower for me. Louise A. Meredith. And then she has this huge, all about Elizabeth Cox. Her patterns are very, very high quality, and I would highly recommend, if you're interested in one, don't hesitate. I know it's an investment, but it is an investment that is worth every penny for what you're getting. Okay, this is going to be a really long video, and it was only supposed to be like an hour. Another acquisition, La-Di-Da. Everything La-Di-Da put out at market, I loved. This is Awake My Soul. Beautiful, right? Love the colors. Love it all. And this one I have kitted up. I'm thinking I might take it as my new start for New Jersey. And I'm going to stitch it on 40 count vintage Meadow Rue, because I want to be just like Nicole's needlework. And then here's my thread petting. Look at these beautiful colors. Come on, you guys. They're so pretty. That's like a bluey purple. I don't even know if you can see it. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So that's Awake My Soul. And then I already showed you Clock's sampler, which is going to be pretty. And I'm thinking about taking that to New Jersey with me because it's one color. Here's another Nikki's Creations Primitives. This is the Stitcher Sewing Sampler. And I love it. I love the little flowers growing out of the spools of thread. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. And then, so La-Di-Da put out 4 tiny samplers, and it's called the Fetish series. Now, I don't know why because we all have a fetish for samplers. I don't know. I'm sure that I don't want to call it a fetish, but maybe it is. Anyways, I bought all 4 of them because they're all about as cute as they can be, and they're super, super tiny. So, the first one is called The Parrots. Fetish Series number 1. And this is by Lori Markovic of La Di Da. Oh, she says, beware, addiction may ensue. So I'm sure that's why she called it the Fetish Series, because you're going to get addicted to them. I have a bird thing right now. My friends pointed out to me. So this is 129 stitches wide by 119 high. They're like 3 inches by 3 inches because I'm stitching them on 40 or 46 count. So cute, right? Okay, so that's number 1. This is number 2. This is Elizabeth Longley. 96 wide by 95 high. I mean, come on, how cute. Super tiny. So these might be like a good airplane stitch or travel stitch, lunchtime stitch, something small that you could take with me. This reminds me a lot of my Dutch Treat Needle Small, but like I said, you can never have enough alphabets. After I said I don't care about alphabets, now I say you can never have enough alphabets. This is Fetish number 3. Mary Ann England. Age 9. Look at her. Rocking it out at 9 years old. Gorgeous. Stitch count is 115 by 123 high. And I love the little frames. And then this is Fetish number 4. Scottish Sample. The last one, 122 high by 120 wide. So again, another tiny one. Love it. Look at that A. So happy. Okay, here's another one. Beth. Love your stuff. This one, so I grew up watching Little House on the Prairie with my mom. And Beth designed the Prairie Life Sampler inspired by Little House on the Prairie, and she's got a lovely little write-up about it, but her daughter helped with this, and I love that. I love the colors. I love everything about this, Beth. I love all the trees in the background. I love the little covered wagon. Just love it. And the quote on it, you could probably read it, but I'll read it to you. The real things haven't changed. It is still best to be honest and truthful, to be happy with simple pleasures, and have courage when things go wrong. I love it. Thank you for doing this, Beth. I love it. I love the little prairie roses border. It's gorgeous. So I know this was an exclusive. I think it was her most popular one, but it's fabulous. And I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I'm going to stitch it. This is the 3rd installment of the Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks. This is Grandpa's Pickup. Absolutely adore this. Totally changing the color of that house. I am not stitching a giant white farmhouse, even though I think it's appropriate. Not happening. Not happening. Ironic, no, that I chose to stitch a series that features so much white stitching when I just can't stand white stitching. Okay, so this is not market. These are just acquisitions that I purchased because I saw them and I loved them. This is Elizabethan Treasures. This is a Linda Berry design, and it's from 1996. You are not going to be able to see that probably, but it is white work and drawn thread work, and it is all kinds of gorgeous. I purchased this through the Attic in Arizona. Really looking forward to stitching that. Here's another acquisition that I just could not help myself. I fell in love with this when Emily C. showed it. This is Swan Garden by Kathy Barrick. And this is next level, right? Look at that on the dark. You're supposed to stitch it on, picture this plus shadow. And those are all NPI silks. So I'll have to budget before I can kit this sucker up, especially since I have to kit up Eliza Bell Cox, and that is not going to be. Why do I only want to stitch the most expensive things? And I know I could convert, but I don't want to. So I don't want to stitch it in DMC, I want to stitch it in silk. Pink Sparrow sampler. Lori just stitched this. Lori, literally, it's like I see stuff and I want to do it, and then the next breath that I take, I watch a video of yours and you're like, oh look, I started this, and then you finished it so quickly. This is an antique reproduction sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread. This is a Brenda. I mean, I'm sorry, but Brenda. Next level on this one. It's gorgeous. And this picture does not do it justice. If you want to see some beautiful stitching, check out Mischievous Stitches, Lori. She just finished this. She just did a video on it. I think she did some substitutions, but it's really, really a beautiful, beautiful piece. And the, oh, here's another. I think this is the, I think that's the original. So beautiful, right? But Brenda includes all kinds of information about the sampler, and it's gorgeous. Okay, another acquisition. This was on sale. I all but stole this from my LNS. This is a reproduction sampler, Mary Ann Carrington, 1834, by Milady's Needle. Interesting border. And I like my animals. I like my pots of flowers. I like my birds. Sale things that I got. So this is a Bent Creek, one of those rows. And this is Teacher Row. And I got it because I thought, teacher gifts, right? Those of you who are teachers, well, if you stitch, I'm sure that you would like, I'm sure you would appreciate a teacher gift like that. I got a couple of other teacher gift pieces because I just thought that they were really cute. Schoolhouse Sampler. This is by Heart and Hand. Schoolgirl Lessons by Little House Needleworks. Reading, Writing, Stitching. So cute. Give Thanks by La Di Da. I love the alphabet and the numbers. And I was thinking about, instead of doing the people here, I was going to stitch this for my daughter's kindergarten teacher. I better get cracking, right? Because she's almost done with kindergarten. And instead of doing the, like leaving the flowers, and instead of doing the people, stitch a phrase about teachers, or something like be kind and courteous, or share, take turns, make good choices. That's something that my daughter learned this year. Also, when I tell her to share with her brother, she says sharing is caring. So she's learned that one. So, or maybe leave the tall woman and then do like 2 or 3 children, maybe like 2 kids sitting at desks, or 2 kids next to her, like a teacher with children in a classroom. I don't know. Something I was thinking of doing. I thought that would make a sweet gift. And here is a work basket sampler. This is called Deer Tree. I like the trees. I like that bird. The bird is flying with like flapping down, like flap down, and you don't see bird. Normally they're like flapping up. I like the flapping down. Here is Larson's Farm. This is by Bright Needle, and this is one of those that has the actual picture. Super cute, right? Look at that little guy fishing. Homespun Elegance, Plain and Fancy Collection, Friendship and Blossoms. Birds and alphabets and flowers, people. And then I was thinking, wouldn't it be cute to just do this little part here as a pin keep or an ornament or a little gift for somebody. Here's another, oh, I love this. This is from Bright Needle, and it's called the Sampler. And it is, do you see how small that is? It is designed to be stitched 1/1. Look at how cute. I love this one. I think it's so cute, and it would really lend itself to do, you could do just like one little block. I don't know if that would just be as big as my thumbnail, but you could do just one little block and turn it into a scissor fob or a little itty bitty baby pin keep or something. I don't know, something sweet to give to somebody, a little sachet, a lavender sachet, to hang from your rear view mirror or whatever. And then this is, okay, so, you know, Lizzie Kate is retiring, and at first I freaked out and I went to the LNS and I bought all these Lizzie Kate things, and then I'm like, I'm really not a huge Lizzie Kate person, so I bought the one that spoke to me the most, and that's this one, a little bee, and it came with the fabric and the little button. So that's a cute little stitch, I think. Shakespeare's Peddler. And I believe this is a Jenny Bean for the parlor. This is the alphabet. Teresa, are there more of these? Is this just part of what? Oh, collect all 8 in this series to stitch Jenny's entire sampler. Yeah, I can't find the rest of them. So if somebody could direct me to where I could find the rest of these, I would love to do that. Otherwise, I'm just stitching this part because that makes me perfectly happy. This is from 2015. I would imagine you can still get these, right? Teresa, can I still get these? I love it. Love it. Love the colors. Very talented designer. Here's another Milady's Needle. By the edge of a woods, at the foot of a hill, there's a lush green meadow where time stands still. Faithful friends. This is from 2010. Super pretty. Yeah, I bought a lot of little samplers, so I really technically shouldn't need to buy any more, but you know how that's going to go over. This is by the Nebby Needle. This is called ABC or AB Crow, ABC Row. I don't know. Love it. Love the colors. Love the crows. Designed and stitched by Bonnie Woomer. And it's from 2015 Nebby Needle. And it only calls for 6 threads. 99 by 124 stitches. Gorgeous. I know that there's more of these, but this is the one that I think there's bouquets for every month, but this is the one I love the most. And this is my daughter's birth month. So this is Cedar Hill Stitch. Cedar Hill Counted Cross Stitch. Shaker Country. Bouquet for September. Look how pretty that is. So I don't feel like I need to do every single bouquet from every single month. I know sometimes we get, oh, I gotta do the series, but you don't. You don't have to do the series. You can just do 1 or 2. And then some other things that I got. So my L&S sells Pat's needles. I'll write it down here, whatever. But they're the needles with the golden eyes. And this is how they come. This is how my, so that's a number 26. Let me see if I can turn it so you can see the... I normally stitch with bohines or peacemakers, but I was given one of these. You can't really see. This part right here is gold. I was given one of these as a present from my L&S because Janine at the Crafty U is fantastic and she loves us, and on one of our stitch days she gave this to us, and this was from I think last year Nashville Needlework Market. Yeah, you can see the gold a little bit better there. These glide through your fabric like nothing else, and they are gentle on your threads so you don't get as much fraying, and I just love them, and I love that they come in these little matchbooks. So I got 2 28s, actually I think I might have gotten 3 28s, 1 26 and 1 24, just in case, you never know when you're gonna need them. But I love that they come in these little, they package them for us in these little matchbooks with the little piece of wool, and just cute. Cute, cute, cute. Longest video ever. Let's talk about things I'm all into. Since this is a new segment that everybody's doing and I love it, so I thought I would share things that I'm into. Some of these are stitching related and some of them are not. One of the things that I love to do, and I haven't done a lot of it, but I really, really enjoy it, is Temari. And if you don't know what Temari are beautiful, artfully created little balls. Japanese embroidered thread balls. And I learned, or am learning, how to do Temari from Barbara Seuss. I bought her book. She literally wrote the book on this. And this is an excellent resource if you're interested in making Temari, learning how to make Temari. I follow numerous extremely talented Temari artisans on Instagram, and I will insert, I didn't bring one of them, I made one for my mother-in-law, and it's the only one I've completed. I've only done 2. I'm totally into it, but I've only done 2. I've only worked on 2. So the first one I gave to my mother-in-law, and I'll insert a picture here. And the second one is a gift that I'm working on for a relative of mine, and this is going to be a Christmas poinsettia. I love it because it's symmetrical. It is, honestly, it's really, really easy to do, and it's everything is supposed to be like perfect, and mine isn't perfect, but it's still beautiful. A lot of fun, super, super fun. I think some other people have mentioned that they're into Temari, are probably much better at it than I am, but you use pearl cottons, over-dyed cottons, sparkly threads, and it's fun. Styrofoam balls, you can put little bells and little things on the inside to make them special, and I love them. So that's something I'm really into, is Temari. I got these scissors. My L&S brought them home from Nashville. These are Sew-Mate rainbow thread cutters, and they're teeny tiny, and they have a plastic sheath. I love scissors with a sheath, and I know I could make a sheath and whatever, but I don't have time for that. I need to be stitching more things. And they're like killer sharp. And super tiny. They were like $8. They're really inexpensive, and I think they only come in 3 colors, pink, purple, and blue. I think these are good for travel, if anybody knows. This shows you like all the different kinds of blades that they have. They have curved blades and blunt blades, and I love them. I would literally put one in every single project bag that I have so that I wouldn't have to think about it. Right now I have just a little plastic, this had index cards in it from Walgreens, and I took the index cards out. So this is a little tool that I use to adjust my Needlework System 4. I have scissors, I have a needle minder, I have a pair of cheaters, and I have my Seam Fix thread ripper, seam ripper. This is a little rubber tip. A little rubber tip. What's great about this is you can rub, after you rip your stuff out, you can rub it and it gets all the fuzzies off. And I love that. I used to wrap the bottom of my seam ripper in rubber bands, because that's basically the same thing. But I stepped up and used a 40% off coupon at Joann's and got myself 2 of those, and I don't know what I'd do without them. Magnifying clip light. So I have this one. It is Natural Light. It's a super, super wide clip. Super wide clip. And it has little feet so that it can be a stand, right? And the little button is here. It is, I think, 2.5. What I don't like is that this isn't, I don't think this is glass, and there's only 2 lights. So and it's a short neck. I would like a little bit of a longer neck. So here's what I'm putting out an APB. If any of you know of something or have one that you adore, what I want is LED lights all the way around. As you know, I like to stitch on my high counts. I need magnification and I need really good lighting. So I'd like one that isn't just battery operated. If I could plug it in to an outlet, USB or battery operated, that would be ideal. I would like a glass magnifier as opposed to plastic or acrylic. I would like it to be clippable or standable or clampable, like on a table sort of business. At least 2.5 times magnification. Like I said, lots of lights. Oh, and if it came with one of those covers, so I didn't have to worry about setting fire to my work or dusting it off, I would love that. So I've looked all over. I can't find one that I trust to buy, and I'm willing to pay for it. I just need to know. I would prefer to get a referral. So if any of you, I love this one, but I'd like one that is next level. So if any of you have one that you like, know, or use, tell me all about it. Micellar cleansing water. This is Walgreens generic, whatever. This is oil-free. They make some that has oil in it. Micellar water, it's free from parabens, phthalates, sulfates, and alcohol. It's super, super gentle, and it literally attracts dirt. I prefer to use this instead of toner. I still use like a cleanser in the evening, like when I'm taking my makeup off, I'll use a cleanser, but then I'll use this to make sure that I have everything like super clean. And then in the morning, I'll use this to freshen instead of cleansing again, because I have really sensitive skin. I'm sure any brand will work. This was just on sale and I wanted to try it and I love it. So I thought I'd share that with you. Something else that I love, mascara. I love mascara. And the thing is that I told you I have really sensitive skin. I also have really sensitive eyes, and I am prone to corneal abrasions, which if you've ever had one, it's really bad juju and it's very painful. And I got my first corneal abrasion using a mascara by one of those pyramid sales companies. Pyramid sales? I don't know, like direct sales maybe they're called. I don't know. But it's a pretty famous brand of mascara that has the fibers. And I tried that and I ended up with corneal abrasion, so yeah, I don't do that anymore. But I found mascara that's called tubal mascara, and tubal mascara literally creates a tube around your eyelash that will come off with virtually no effort. You don't have to use oily eye makeup remover, you don't have to use scrubbing motions, it doesn't flake, it doesn't turn into raccoon eyes. I literally use a warm washcloth and I hold it on my eyes and then I very gently pull sort of down and out and all these little tubes come off and wash down the drain. Warm water, that's it. So I feel like to protect my delicate eye skin and not to add to aging, that sort of thing, I look for tubal mascaras. This is the next best thing to a tubal mascara. This is sort of a hybrid of tubal and fiber. I haven't noticed flaking. I haven't noticed raccooning. It comes off super easy and there's not any it literally dissolves with warm water and it's insane cheap. This is Wet n Wild's boo 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 Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. Super skinny brush. So you can get like you can wiggle up really close to your lash line. Let's see, let me zoom in here so you can see you judge for yourself and tell me what you think of my eyelashes. There you go. There's do you see that? They're literally hitting my eyeglasses. That's how long they get. What do you think? Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. I think it's like $5. So it's perfect because if you don't, you can use it and then 3 or 4 months, 6 months, you're done with it, you pitch it, you don't have to, you can follow all the correct things that you're supposed to do. What else? Needle threader, it's by Clover. You put it through your needle and then you put your thread through here and it's really easy. It's nice and wide to get your thread through. Pull it out of your needle and it flattens and comes out really, I love it. And it doesn't break, it's super strong. I've had it for like 2 years. I got it off of Amazon. It does have a cap, but I lost it because I have children. What else do I love? I love lip scents. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I love it. It doesn't come off. It took me a really long time to learn how to use it. And it took me a really long time to find colors that I love. And what I learned is that I have to layer it in order for it to look good. That's my lip sense. And that's layered. And that is Lexi Berry. 1 coat of that, dark, with 2 coats of Fire Opal, which is a re-release. 1 coat of, well, it's not coming through, but this is Bougainvillea, I don't know. It's like pinky gold. It's gorge. There you go. So I layer it, and I love it. Another thing that I absolutely love as a curly haired person, this is the Xtava diffuser, hair diffuser. And it has a really deep bowl so that you can really sort of, you know, lay all your hair in there and do whatever. It has lots of little fingers with holes for air, like there's lots of opportunities for air to circulate. It does have a little removable fitted ring in here that you could take out so that you can maybe allow it to fit on another hairdryer. I bought the hairdryer, there was a sale at Christmas time, so I bought the white hairdryer that goes with the white diffuser, but it's Xtava, X-T-A-V-A. I swear by it. This is next level hair diffusing, people. This is what took my curls to a level where I thought, okay, I can go back to being a curly girl because I can actually get curly hair. The other thing I'm all into is stitcher etiquette. I don't know if we talk about stitcher etiquette very much. I think we talk about some things. One of the things that I firmly believe in is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I think that extends beyond stitching. It just is sort of a human decency kind of thing. I try to avoid negative full stop, but if you don't have something nice to say, just don't say anything at all. I firmly believe in that. Another stitcher etiquette thing that we don't really talk about, but I think that we should, especially with more and more of us talking about going to retreats and things like that, touching other stitchers' work. You should not do this. If you want to touch something that another stitcher has stitched, you should ask for permission before you touch it. You should not, unless you have on white gloves, you should not be touching another stitcher's work. I heard a horror story about a person who stitched a chatelaine. Chatelaines have an intense amount of specialty stitches and beadwork. I can thoroughly understand why you would want to reach out and touch that. Don't do it. Those beads were placed with tender, loving care and took a long time to get perfect, okay? Some of those beads are mirrored. You have oils on your hands. You have dirt on your hands. Oh, I always wash my hands. I don't care. Don't touch another person's stitching unless you ask for permission. And quite frankly, don't even ask for permission, because then you put that person in an awkward position, and if they're not secure enough in themselves, they might be like, okay, yeah, you can touch it, when really they don't want you to touch it. You want to touch Jessica stitches? Practice making some Jessica stitches and touch your own. You want to touch beadwork? Stitch something with beadwork and touch your own stuff. Don't touch other stitchers' work. If people bring things for show and tell into a retreat or into your local needle workshop, don't touch them. Maybe it's just me. Let me know what you think. Weigh in below. Do you think we should be able to just finger everybody's work or not? Because I personally believe I feel bad doing that. So, I just don't think it's right to touch other. Any other stitcher etiquette that you think that we should know about? Leave a comment below, weigh in, let me know. I'm not talking about pet peeves or whatever, just stitcher etiquette. I think it's good etiquette not to touch other people's work and to ask for permission before you handle someone else's work. Other things I'm into: Sunday stitch-ins at my LNS, the Crafty U, my Sampler Guild meetings. Going to New Jersey, y'all, in 5 weeks, May 18th. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see everybody. I can't wait to stitch with all my like-minded friends. I can't wait to meet so many new friends. I'm a little nervous. There's a lot of people going, and I might seem a little I'm an extroverted introvert, if that makes sense. So being in large crowds freaks me out a little bit and it drains me, makes me a little nervous. So I'm a little nervous about 70 people is a lot of people to have in a room, and it's going to be noisy and it's going to be, you know, humming and buzzing, and so that makes me a little nervous. But at the same time, I'm super excited to see everybody and hug all the people and look at all the things, have all the conversations, and go shopping at Needleworker's Delight. It's gonna be great. Other plans: how to pack for a retreat. What do you have for tips? This is where my mind is at. I'm trying to think about planning for packing, planning for traveling on the plane. What can you bring with you? Can I bring stitching with me? My flight's about an hour. I'd like to stitch while I'm on the plane, but I'm nervous that I'll have to like keep my scissors in my... I'm just planning on bringing a carry-on because I'm terrified that if I check a bag, my stitching won't arrive with me. I need a bag that fits into my overhead compartment, and I need a bag that fits under the seat. If you have experience with this, if you're experienced traveling with your stitching on airplanes, tell me what you know. Tell me, leave a comment below and tell me how I can do that safely, economically, avoid having scissors confiscated or needles confiscated. I don't even know what to bring to wear. Somebody told me to dress in layers, and I'm not, I mean, I'm gonna bring some sparkly stuff. I'm actually probably not going to bring the sparkly Ort bag purse, simply because it's going to take up room in my suitcase that I don't want to relinquish. Obviously, you want to dress comfortably. I'm not gonna win any fashion shows by any stretch of the imaginations. I just want to know, like, what do you wear? What do you bring? Extension cords, equipment, tools. How do you pack it? What do you pack first? What do you pack last? What do you put in the overhead? What do you put in the seat below you? Teach me all the things. Tell me what you know. The other thing I'd like to do is learn how to darn socks. If you can direct me to a place where I can do that, I'm going to be binging and Googling that information at some point. All right, I think that's it. That's a really long video. Again, I'm going to do a very small amount of editing and try to get this sucker up sometime this afternoon if possible. All right, I love you guys. Next time I talk to you, I don't know when that will be, but I'm hoping that all the things that you stitch with your hands show your heart, and that you have a lovely spring, and that we stop getting snow and we start to warm up, and the birds sing to you throughout your day, and everything is good. All right? Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.